did it, Campbell.
Yay!
We made it. Not bad. All right. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
What'd you do?
Like
yesterday, day before. Were you?
Oh, we went to it. We did a staycation.
Yeah, you did a staycation.
At Kalaluna.
Yeah, at a hotel.
Yes.
And did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All relaxed, ready for your coding show. All right. Cool. Excellent. Let's get into it with a little segment we like to call
What's Happened Last Time?
What did we do last time, Campbell?
Show me something.
Sorry, hit the wrong button there. Got to change my button images right there. What did we do last time? You want to show us, to give us a tour?
Sure. So I think this was last time, we made it so that we can jump with this line of code.
Right.
And this public float up here. And so we basically said, we made a public rigid body, and we named it player rigid body. And then we dragged, in Unity, we dragged the player rigid body into that script. So we did it like this, and then we went there. And so we basically said add a force in the upwards direction.
Yes.
Wait, no, sorry, it was here.
No, in the forwards direction. Yeah, then down there it's in the upward direction.
Right here it says if the space key is down, then add a force to the player rigid body in the up direction.
Got it. And you said to me this morning that your jumping stopped working and you're not sure why.
Yeah, now it's not working anymore in Unity.
So, can you do one thing for me? I think we changed your tab settings last time. I just want to make sure they're saved. Can you hold down the control key, hit the letter K, and then hit the letter D? Anybody want some pudding?
I do.
All right, back over here. Did you hit Control
K,
and then the letter D?
Oopsies.
Sora's out here as well. Hey, Pudding, how you doing? Welcome to see it. There you go. So Control KD will reformat the whole document. That's what it does in Visual Studio. And the way you can kind of remember it is Control K, I think, can kind of lead you to some formatting shortcuts, and D stands for the whole document. So what it did is took all those spaces, those extra spaces that were 4 or whatever, and turned them into tabs and made them only 2 wide each time there.
Yeah.
So one of the Pudding is hello, Twerkin, Merkin, and Campbell. Twerkin Merkin is of course, my alter ego out on the Dungeons and Dragons show. Welcome, Zora, as well. So one of the ways that you can solve a bug, Campbell, is with something called a code review, where you look at the code and try to figure it out. And I'd like to actually start with that.
Okay.
But when you're developing for Unity, you actually have more than just the source code here. You've actually got the settings in Unity. And one of the things I'm interested in is, see that when we jump up, we're calling add force on line 21.
Yes.
Right? 21 adds force in the upward direction. That's that transform.up multiplied by your jump force. And I'm wondering, what if in Unity we set our jump force to a very small number, but we didn't see that here because we can't see that number here.
No.
Can we check the value in Unity? I'd like to do that.
It is 5.
So it's much smaller than that 100 that we saw inside of there.
Because I put 100 in that code because I thought it's probably not, I don't know actually what I was thinking when I put the 100 in there. I don't remember what was going through my head when I said.
It might have been sample code right in there too, and we might have been doing something else or thinking about something else. Like in the past, we've seen like the ability to apply a force multiple times, as time moves on. It really doesn't matter what this is here because the Unity setting will reset this after this class is initialized. So when player properties, that script is attached, started up, and in the program, jump force will be 100. But then switch back to Unity.
Over here, it's just a 5.
Then it's going to change it to a 5. My guess is you might actually be jumping. The test would be to change this. This is the overriding value right here to something bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's try that. Oh, I love this. This was your tip from last week.
It is.
Where you can send it, where you can kind of tint
Oh,
things.
it is working.
Ah. So that's an interesting kind of idea, right? Oh, look at you colliding into those. And look at this. You're dropping all of those. Oh, you fell off the edge. All right.
Okay.
I do love that it's obvious you're in this mode, but I don't like that it's harder to see the numbers because now interacting with it while you're running is maybe going to take more brain power to, as you squint your eyes to try to look
We
at those.
can change it so that it's a lighter color so that we can see
Oh.
the color.
Here comes Surly Dev.
Surly Dad is in the house.
Surly Dev's in the house.
Hello, Surly Dev.
By the way, the first thing Pudding said when he came in to the show was, imagine waking up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. He imagined it, and it happened. So Campbell's over here. We're on Campbell's machine now. Campbell's over here, and he's got the preferences for Unity up, and he's selected colors in the list there. And so
Yeah.
now there's an alpha setting there
Play
too.
mode tint.
Notice that you've got RGB, that stands for red, green, and blue.
Yeah.
And then you've also got A, that stands for alpha. And you
This
might
is how transparent it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. You might try it about halfway transparent and see what happens. You can. What I would suggest is actually the really keep the saturated the blue, the color you like, but drop that, make it more transparent, and see what happens.
Okay,
And then try to run now.
let's try it. Oh no, it's just darker.
It does look a little harder to read, doesn't it? Maybe that doesn't work like I was imagining. It's called play mode interface. Is that right? Let's make it
Play mode tint.
play mode tint. All right, go back to make it alpha even lower. Make it like a quarter, like at about 80 or something like that. Yeah, right in there. That's fine. Perfect. And yeah, let's do that and just see what happens.
Oopsies, I forgot to close this tab. No, it's still hard.
I'm wondering if this though we need to restart the game.
You mean Unity?
No, just the game. Stop the game and restart it. Because it may change it. You've changed preferences, but you haven't started the game afresh. And it may only set the color when the game starts and not when you've dropped the dialogue. Try one more time. No? Okay. Yeah, it seems to be getting worse.
No, not project settings. Ugh.
All right, so let's bring that up. Try making it a medium blue. Take that middle circle in the square, that little one, and put it near the top middle of that square. Yeah, right there. See what happens with this. How does that look?
Oh, that's
There you
much
go.
better.
That is better. All right, good. Yeah, I'm
And
not
you
sure.
still notice it.
Yeah, no, it's way better. I like it. Okay, cool. I noticed that your block is kind of moving off the sides and falling.
It is. So
That's not a criticism, Campbell.
No.
I'm not criticizing your driving.
Let's
although
add-
it's very
we
similar.
can't drive. We don't have a steering wheel.
It's very similar to how I drive. I think on a regular basis. Putting things Surly Dev is a bot. What do you want to do about that? How do you want to fix that? Oh, by the way,
we
there were two
add-
other things that we did last week. We haven't really kind of fully finished that.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You added materials to change the color.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you could talk me through that on my machine. Can we do that real quickly on my machine?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to switch over to my machine. Get over to Unity. Where is it? There it is down there. Unity right here. Looks like I'm not running. And I want to do this. As I recall, I'm going to try and do it. You tell me if I'm doing it right or not. I'm going to right click here in my project.
Yes.
Choose create material. That's
Yeah.
correct, right? All right.
That's it.
Then I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it, I'll call it the player mat, like short for material right there. So that's what I'm doing there. Then I'm going to click here and it brings up a color dialog on my other monitor and I'll choose a color for the player. I'm going to make it kind of, I'm going to go in this blue space right here. I'm just going to go grab there. Then I'm going to drag that and drop it on my block. Uh-oh.
Wait, not in game view. In
Oh, okay, good. Thanks. There you go. So you saved me. And it looks like I changed the color. It doesn't look quite as...
Yeah, you might want to make the if you go to directional light and then intensity.
Okay,
you can
cool.
Make it the light brighter, so I think that changes it a little.
Oh, that's right. You were talking about that. And this is that cool tip that if we get in this space, we can click and drag there. Cool. All right, that was easy. Let's do another one. Create material. Down here, it's got focus. I'm going to type in the word track mat. And I'm going to come in here, just like we did before. I'm going to come over here. There's my track material. And I'm going to, whoops, not in the
Wait.
game view, over in the scene view. All right, cool. I've done it. All right, that's awesome. Cool. All right, what are we going to do, Campbell? What are we going to do to fix this piloting problem?
Let's add walls
You want to add walls? Okay.
on the sides.
So how do we do that?
If we create a new 3D object, I would guess,
You want to create
or a 2D object might work, but I think let's stick with 3D. Which one of the... Oh, maybe if we took a cube and made it like the track on the side.
Oh, okay. Let's try it. I was thinking, you can't turn a cube into a track. That violates the laws of humanity. But look at you. You're going over into the scale properties over there.
Yeah.
So we know that you just selected the track. The track is 1,000
1,000
on
in
the
terms
Z
of
scale. And it's 3 on the X scale. So it's like 3 cubes across, I think, maybe. And it's 1,000 cubes long. It's kind of if your cube is a 1 by 1.
I think ours is. I might be wrong though. No, they're 0.3.
So is that black thing you just dropped? Is that the cube?
Yeah, it just has
Okay.
a light on it right now. So
All right.
let's move it to. Oopsies. Wait.
But why? I don't understand. There's something that doesn't look quite right to me about it. The scale on the Z, the X and Y is both 1, but it looks like it's much wider.
It does.
And it looks kind of shorter too. Oh wait, you know what? Hold on. Why do I see it in the game mode but not the scene? Isn't that a little bit weird?
Is it? I see it now.
Oh, okay. Okay, there it is. Okay,
this
wait,
piece
back
right
up a little bit so we can see it. Now we can see the shape of it. Okay, cool. I got it. All right. So that we were maybe in it. That's why we couldn't see it. The camera got in it
Yeah,
and
we
thought,
were
well,
like
it's got
right
no.
here.
What'd you say?
We were like right here, so we couldn't see it.
Okay. So now that we have a good shape of it, can we get it to line up with the start of the track?
Yeah. So the track starts at 0.
Hold on. What do you have selected? Okay. I thought the track started at -500. No, we moved it. Is that right? I guess we
Yeah,
moved it.
and then we moved the player, I think.
Okay, I see. So when we scale, is that true? All right. Now it looks like I don't see it.
Oopsies.
The Z scale on this looks like it should be 1,000, not 0. I mean,
Oh.
not 100. I mean,
Oopsies.
does that change anything if we change that to 1,000?
It probably should. Yeah, that's...
Oh, okay, that's better. All right. So now you've got this kind of 1 by 1 thing on top. I guess we kind of want to move it to the side. It just occurred to me, we can grab it and use those arrows and actually position it right about where we want it. Can't we?
Oh, yeah, it's harder, though.
Is it moving the opposite direction or no? Is it going the way you're expecting it to go?
It is going the way
Okay.
I expected it. Oh, we should probably move it down too.
You can also make it taller. What if I wanted to make that a really tall barrier?
Ah, this is so annoying.
Tell me what's happening.
It's just not being as specific as I want it to be when I'm trying to move it with
It's hard
the
to line it
arrows.
up exactly.
Yeah. So if we wanted to make it really tall, we could make this number 10.
Oh, there you go. Good. Now, see if you can line that up.
I'm gonna do it just.
Captain Cuppy says, hold down the shift key while you're dragging. Let me see if that works on my machine.
Shift.
I'm not sure if shift
It
does.
works.
Does it
I
work?
think. Wait a minute.
Does it start snapping to other things nearby? I'm not sure what that is.
It just makes it smoother, I think.
Huh. I don't see any difference on my machine when I'm trying that shift key. All right, cool. So we've got that. There. Can you change the camera view out? Do those really line up? It looks like it doesn't quite line up with the back edge of that. Does it? Maybe it does.
I think it definitely
Yeah, it
should.
does. Okay, cool. So we got one barrier there. That looks like a pretty effective barrier.
Do we want to make it invisible?
Do we want to make it invisible?
So that it isn't like right there and we can't see it?
Yeah, sure. We can do that. How do we do that? Turn off the mesh
by
renderer.
turning off mesh renderer. It just doesn't draw it.
And we've got
But we still have box collider on, so we won't be able to go through it.
and that's all we need,
Yeah,
right?
pretty
To
sure.
get it to work. Do you want to just try running and see if we can fall off the right edge? See if that's true.
I'm gonna try
Captain Cuppy says, I know in Blender, shift is fine movement. All right, try to go off the right edge. Sweet.
that. Work.
Now go off the left edge.
Ooh, we have to add a
Not
barrier
as
there, too.
sweet.
I think let's just duplicate this one.
Should we give it a good name first?
Oh yeah.
Rename was right above duplicate in that menu. Oh, you can also do this too.
Oh.
No, that's good.
Right wall.
Sure. I like it.
Okay. Duplicate. Let's call this one the left wall.
Oh, you're brilliant. You're going to be an amazing developer. Like only I think about another show or something, and you've got everything you need, buddy. Dad gets to retire and live off your income. How many people have said that to you, Campbell?
Sissy?
Brothers and sisters?
Yeah, all of them.
They're like, we're going to live off of your income, Campbell.
I'm apparently supposed to be sending her daily check or weekly checks.
Weekly checks. What happened? It looks different. Did we just go far away?
Yeah, sorry. I
Okay.
don't know what happened.
And do we know where it is? Oh, wait, you can click on it.
Yes.
Oh, wait, I have a
Let's move it
suggestion.
to the other side.
To get the camera quickly in view, grab the player, click on the player,
Oh.
and then hit, I think, what is it? F? Is that right? Yeah, and so now you're right in there. Now click on the left wall, make sure it's in the right place, is it?
No.
There you go. That looks pretty good. Move the camera around a little bit, make sure. Yeah, wait, make sure it's just on the edge there.
Yes.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right. Let's try running it. See how that works. I really am I'm a fan of this tint color, Campbell. All right. Try to swerve off left or right walls.
Yeah.
And now all of these boxes are coming up with you.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, what the?
Oh, it's too far away. We have to move it closer. Dang it.
Is that the problem?
Yeah, that's the problem, I think.
Well, why don't we take do me a favor? Take that bottom track. It looks like you're already on it. Take that X scale and change it to a 5 instead of a 3. Gives us more places. It gives us more room to play the game.
And then we can change this right wall position
Yeah.
to 2.5.
Oh, good idea. I like that. Is that going to work?
No, it's not. What happened?
That's weird to me.
It
I feel like that should totally do it, right?
Oh, I did it on the Y, I think.
Oh no, I thought you did it on the
No,
X.
I did it on the X.
All right, do this. Do me a favor. Grab that kind of red arrow in the scene view and move it to the left until it is in the right spot. And let's look and see what that position is up there in the X. So that's 13 there, but it's not
10,
quite right
I
on the
think.
edge. 10. Why
Oh,
is
is it
it's
is the
like it's
X scale?
doubling.
Is it 5 on?
It doesn't make sense to me. Oh, wait, I know what it is. I totally know what it is. The 0 is in the left corner of the track. That's 0, 0, I think.
Oh.
I think. So you're at 10 here, but the
I
other
thought it
one
was
should
in
be
the
at
middle.
0. Set the other barrier at 0. I bet if you put it at 0. Oh, no, maybe I'm wrong.
No, it is the middle.
What's going on? Can you move the camera back and kind of rotate around a bit so we can see exactly where it is? Because sometimes it's a little bit hard. Wait, that one's not bad. That negative
6,
5.
I think, is it.
All right, let's go look at the track. Is it centered? Is its X position 0?
Yeah, 0, 0, 0.
5. Okay, now I'm getting, this is just a little freaky to me. It could be that the camera's creating an optical illusion. Maybe that's why I want you to kind of move the camera around a little bit in that scene. Like
Wait,
right click, yeah. Is it working? Let's go back and look at the right wall. There's the left wall, move around.
Oh, God. Nope.
It is not.
Oh, maybe if we change this one, it's X position.
No, the Y position shouldn't matter. Make that 0, make the X 0.
I think negative 2.5.
All right, let's go use the camera. Oh yeah, that's good. That's kind of right on
Good
it.
enough.
Wow, what's going on?
Let's change this one to 2.5.
Okay, and look at that.
Oopsies.
Make sure it's selected so we can see where it is in invisible land. Okay, wait. This is perfect. But let's look at what is the
Wait,
left
maybe
wall?
it's 3. Is
Wait, look,
3
wait.
Perfect?
Wait, look at the left wall again. The left wall, you had a negative 2.5. Okay, this is actually making sense to me right here. Because it's 5 wide, it totally makes sense. I think we were looking, part of the problem was we were looking at an optical illusion. Now, why is 3 working instead, 3 and positive 3 working instead
I'm
of,
not sure. I feel
how
like
wide
2.5
is
should
the
totally
wall?
work. Oh, it's the wideness of the wall.
the wall is 1 wide, so, and you're moving its center position, so it's adding another half to it, right?
Yeah, okay. That makes so much more sense.
Captain Puppy is asking, does the scroll wheel work in the transform? So if you put the mouse up in the transform up there, can you rotate the mouse around up there, Campbell?
Wait, what do you mean? Oh. Huh?
If you put the mouse up inside of, yeah, no, it does not for me. I'm looking at it, and for me, it just scrolls it up and down vertically. But you can click and drag on a label for a property if it's a numeric value and change its value. Okay. Cool. Can we hit play and see if we fall through? If it works?
Yeah.
Captain Puppy says, try shift there. Hold on, I'll do it while you play. Let me see what I'm doing. Nope, shift still just scrolls it up and down for me when I'm using the mouse wheel. Oh, but wait, shift there when I'm dragging it. Let me try that.
Yep, we can't fall.
No falling?
Let's make these blocks a little bigger.
Okay.
One by one by one.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the shift work here either for fine movement. It might be, but I'm not seeing that, Captain Puppy.
Control-Z.
I know, by the way, I'm sorry, go ahead, Campbell, what were you saying?
I was trying to make them one by one, but it was way too big.
Oh, you just tried that and they were too big?
But we might want to make the prototypes. Oh yeah, they are one by one by one. Okay.
So what do you want to do? You want to change the size of that prototype?
No, it's just, it's the perfect size.
What'd you say?
It's a good size. Okay. Do you want to make it so that we can move left and right?
Yeah, let's make it so we can move left and right.
Okay.
Now, one of the things, though, before we do that, Campbell, I would like to make your code match what I call recommended best practices. So one of the things that we're doing here in this code is we are checking to see if the key is down in the fixed update method.
Yes.
I want to change this so we check that we still want, I want to apply force in fixed update, but I want to check to see if the key is down in the update method, because that's more reliable as I understand it, and it happens 30 frames a second, whereas the fixed update comes in 100 frames a second.
Okay. So
what we need to do is we need to create a new method. In CodeRush, if you just go on an empty line there in the class, you type in M and then spacebar, it'll give you an empty method. And now type in update here.
update.
And then hit enter. And CodeRush is going to put you in for parameters, but update doesn't have any parameters.
Yeah. So just
Now inside here, here's where we want to really call that input.getKey down.
if then we can say
There's no if, just do this. What I want to do is I want to take the input. That's just that's a method that returns a true or false, right? What I want to do is set that to a variable and then check the variable in fixed update, but set the variable in update.
yeah. So we say if input.getKeyDown keycode space is
If it's true, then we
just
say variable is
then-
true.
yeah, then we
And if
say
it's
this-
false, then we say variable is false.
yeah.
Then we could just say variable equals the result.
What?
Well, take a
Wait,
look.
I don't understand. No. Control Z.
All right, do this. Use selection increase. Put the caret up on line 25. Use selection increase,
Control
which
W?
is Control W.
No.
But put it inside. Put it inside, anywhere inside there. There you go.
No, I can't. I can't do just this if line.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I don't want you to get just the if line. I want you to get just that.
Just that? Okay.
Yeah.
Control C.
Yeah. Go up to line 20. Type in the name of your variable, whatever it's going to be. Should jump.
Yeah.
Can jump.
Let's do can jump.
Equals. And paste what you have on the clipboard.
Control.
And then put a
Wait, why are we
semicolon at
doing
the end
this?
of that. This is what I mean. When I said it, sometimes when I say things, it's not as good as if you see the visual. Now I want you to hit Control dot. Put the caret on can jump. And hit Control dot. Whoop, hold on. We got somebody showing up. I already had my shower today. Thanks a lot, Copperbeardy. Look, Campbell. All kinds of stuff is growing here on the show.
Copperbeardy is in the house.
Copperbeardy is in the house. Welcome, Copperbeardy. Also saw Lassmat out there. Hey, Lassmat. All right. Okay. Put the key, and now you want to choose declare field. See with the options that's there? You can just hit enter now because declare field is selected for you. And now use the up and down arrows to say where you want to put it. Oh, look at this. There's Lassmat. Do you like tea, Campbell?
Yep.
Welcome, Lassmat. Glad you're here. All right. So, and you've got it. So now you got your Boolean up there, can jump. Okay. Hit escape to get back to where you were. See that blue marker? You're going to jump right to there when you hit escape. Okay, good. Now you've got can jump. Hit the control key to Control C to copy it to the clipboard.
Control C.
Yeah, there you go. You don't even have to select it. And then go back down to line 26. And what am I going to change on line 26 is the question.
If instead of all of this, we're just going to say if can jump.
Right. But now what's going to happen if we hit the space key once?
we're gonna go flying. Wait. No. We're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna.
Every time a meteor hits the play box, we change the song. What's going to happen, you think?
We're gonna go flying, I think.
Flying, meaning not
Like
coming back down.
Shooting up.
What are...
And
Surly's
then
going to try to catch some... he's got one. Now that he's got it... What'd you say? What'd you say, Campbell?
Here we can say can jump equals false. Right?
Yes. And wait, go back one. Wait, back. Just see, no. Just say space equals. And now right here, type in the letter F and hit the space bar. CodeRush will finish it for you.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me show you one more thing. Actually, try this. Select lines 28 and 27.
28.
Yeah, just hit Shift up and then Shift home. We'll get both of those. All right, now try hitting the letter B. See what happens.
B.
It might replace
Braces.
it. No, perfect. B goes to braces. So that's a CodeRush feature as well. So now, because you need braces, remember that on the if statement?
Yeah, because there are multiple statements.
Right, which reminds me, Campbell, it's time for... Don't eat the jam yet, it's not me. Go Jam! It's time for Code Jam. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some code and stuff like that. Things that we learned about C# and coding. We learned that braces, what do the braces mean, Campbell?
They mean code blocks.
They mean code blocks. That's exactly right. So if we see two braces, we can put code in between those braces.
Yeah.
Right? That's a brace and that's a brace right there. Surly Dev and Captain Cuppy are both near the braces. Thanks for helping us. And the code goes inside those braces. So braces means code block. A class looks like this. I'm going to temporarily dock you guys. You guys can come back and fly in a second. Oh, there it is.
Can we turn down the music just a little bit?
You bet. I will
It's hard to
absolutely do
hear
that. And I can also independently control it for you versus the stream as well. So class looks like this. So it's got the word, typically it starts with the word public, then it has the word class, and then the name of the class. And then you've got that code, those braces right there again, right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And inside of that, your variables and your methods can go inside those braces.
Yeah, like if or debug log.
Well, actually, those are statements. Methods are things like update, fixed update, and variables are things like my transform, my rigid body, that sort of thing. Okay?
Yes.
All right. A class can also look like this. And the difference is, look at the difference. Do you see the difference between these two?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's with one of them it has its parent class name, which is whatever it descends from. So
Right.
it adopts all of those all of the things that its parent can do.
All those behaviors of its
Yes.
parent class, right?
So for in most of our code, in all of our code that we've written here, it's public class, whatever the script name is, and then mono behavior is the parent.
Mono behavior, right. It descends from mono behavior. I think I got an example of it right here. Here's a class called player properties that descends from mono behavior. Okay? All right. What else? And a method looks like this. So it's got public, void, at least the methods
Like
we've seen so far.
update, fixed update.
Yeah. And it's just the name of the method. The important thing on a method, Campbell, is this right here. The parens are important. They
Very
tell you it's a method.
Yes.
And inside the method goes what?
The code you want to execute when that method is.
Right. Right. And I've got here in my note an arrow that says variables and statements go inside these braces.
Yeah.
Okay? Variables can look like this. We've seen things that look like this before.
Yes.
So notice the bottom one here. You can even do this. And actually, we've seen this too. In your code on your machine, let me switch over. Go to your code a second. right up there at the top, see where you have forward force is equal to 3F and jump force is equal to 100F?
Yes.
That's very similar to this, where I have variable type, variable name equals initial value.
What is initial value?
That's the value we're going to set to it. So we look at your code, your initial value on forward force is 3F. That's the very first value it gets when we start it up. Okay, so what that means is when you have numbers there or values next to field variables up there, when this player properties, an instance of player properties is created, which happens when we start the game,
Yes.
the first value they get will be 3F and 100F. And if you don't specify anything, it'll generally get an empty value. So player rigid body is going to be set to something we call null, which means nothing at all.
Nothing. Which is different than the other one. I forget what it's called. It's different than 0. Yeah.
Right. Null is different from 0. It's a different, it is different. All right. So that's what variables can look like. They can look like those kinds of things. And we've already seen that. If statements can look like these. And take a look at those, Campbell, right there.
Yeah.
And keep your chair from swinging over the one right there at the bottom so that people can see that.
If this happens, then do this.
Right.
Basically.
This is what we've seen so far. Expression is what? What is that, Campbell? Do you know what that is? How would you describe that?
I guess it's I don't know how I would describe that.
Let's look at some code examples and see if we can figure it out. Do you have any if statements inside of here? We do have one.
Yes, we have one. It's basically saying an expression is what can be true or false.
Right.
Is what it is normally.
Yes.
It could be like if this is equal to. I guess it is always true or false.
Well, if it's inside of an if statement, the expression in an if statement always has to be true or false.
Yes.
Because the program needs to know which way do I go. So it can't be like a number because that won't tell it which way to go.
It can say like if this number, or if if forward force is equal to 3,
Right.
then do this. But that's saying if forward force is equal to 3 is true,
Yes,
then do this.
exactly. It's a Boolean expression. It's an expression that's going to return one of two values, true or false. That's the only thing that expression can do for the if statement to be able to work on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So if statements look like that. We've seen that. And if we have only one child, do we need braces?
Nope.
We can optionally omit them if we have only one child. And if we have more than one child, braces are going to be required. Okay? Remember when we selected several lines and hit the letter B?
Yeah. That was when we put braces around them.
Right, exactly.
Because we had both player rigid body dot add force transform up times jump force and can jump equals false.
Right.
Which were two statements.
Let me switch over to something because I want to kind of show you something. You were talking about this idea of saying, look, I've got similar code here too. I've got can jump here. But basically you were talking about doing something like this. If this, then we're going to say can jump is true. Here's a CodeRush shortcut, ST, to set what's on the clipboard to true. And then otherwise, we're going to say set it to false. Else, this is the first time we've seen, I think, an else, but basically it just means, hey,
Yeah, I love else.
if not here, then here. You were talking about doing that right there.
I was.
You were saying, well, remember we were talking about how are we going to determine what to set can jump as,
Oh yes.
right? You said to me,
I remember that now.
right, you said if it is true, then can jump would be true. And if it is false, then can jump would be false. Does that make sense, what you were saying? Well, this is exactly the same as this right here. Do you see what I'm saying? This is exactly the same as that. In fact, if you have CodeRush and you hit Control Dot here, you can choose flatten conditional. And CodeRush will say, I know it's the same, and make the change
Wait a
for
minute. Is there anything? Wait, how did you do the flatten conditional?
I put the caret on the if keyword, I hit Control Dot, and I said flatten conditional. And Coder says, I know what that is. The conditional means it's an if condition. Flattening means making it not so big. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we can do that kind of a thing if we want to do that.
Yeah.
My code
Because
is
that
a
just
little...
makes it smaller, right?
What'd you say?
It just makes the code smaller and
Yeah,
easier.
it makes it smaller. But the important thing is it might make it easier to read. Arguably, more words means harder to read.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because then you have to read more. And that makes it just hard.
Yep. And so some people will find this easier to read. It's a nice way to think about things. Okay. Cool. And what else? While loops. I wanted to talk about while loops here. So while loops look like this. While expression.
Oh, so during the time that this is true, do execute these like every time.
Yeah. Madhouse Steve is now following. Thanks for that follow, Madhouse Steve.
For example, like if we could say, while the space while input.getKey down
The key's down.
space, yeah,
Okay.
while it's down,
Yeah.
always be jumping. I guess.
Okay. Or let's try something like that.
Would be something.
So in my update, I'm going to say while, and I don't think it's get key down. I think there's something else to see if it's just down. Maybe it's get key pressed. What is it? Get key returns true while the user holds down the key. Ha. Okay, cool. So I'm going to create a while loop that does this. While the space key is held down, and I'm going to do a debug log, and I'm going to say space is down. Maybe I'll change this to another key. Is there a shift key I can check for? Left shift. I'm going to change it to left shift. Okay?
Oh.
All right. Ready?
And if you hold it down every time update is checked, it will send something in the console.
Yeah, let's try
It
it.
will send left shift is down.
Well, I think it's more than every time it's, if I'm holding it down and we get here, I'm going to set a breakpoint here. And I'm going to set a breakpoint here in both these places. I hit the attach to Unity button. Remember we learned about that?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm attached, but in order to test it, I have to come to Unity and hit run. So let's hit run. It says compiler errors. Down here at the bottom left, it says...
Wait, I can't see it.
It says, it looks like I'm missing a semicolon.
Oh.
There it is right there. Okay, so there's my left shift. Are we still attached? It looks like we're attached. And now let's run.
I'm still confused on what the breakpoints do.
The breakpoints stop execution. So normally, they're actually a really, really wonderful thing in terms of trying to figure out what's going on. Normally, your program just runs and you play with it. And if you see something wrong, you try to fix it. But a breakpoint lets you be at each line of code to try to figure it out.
Oh, so it tells you basically what line of code is wrong.
Well,
right?
it tells you what line of code you're on, for sure. So here, look at this. See this yellow?
No, is wrong, not...
Is wrong? No, it doesn't really tell you what's wrong. See that yellow right there?
Or isn't working.
That yellow arrow? That means I'm on this line of code right here. Okay? So I've come into input, and I'm on that line of code. If I then go to, what are the buttons up here? Here's one of the buttons. Whoops, I'm in the wrong screen right there. Step over F10. If I hit F10, it'll step over that line. And then go to the while. That's false. Now it comes down here. Okay? I'm going to change my breakpoints. I'm going to clear those. I'm going to set a breakpoint here instead. And I'm going to hit run. And now the game should just run and work. Okay? Now I'm going to hold down the left shift key. As soon as I push it down, look where we stop.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And now I'm going to clear the breakpoint. I'm going to hit run. And left shift key isn't down anymore. I think it's not down anymore. Shouldn't be down anymore. Although the game is unresponsive. That is weird. I've locked up Unity, it looks like. I think I locked it up because of the breakpoint. Is what I think I did. I think if I go into debug and I say break all, no, I'm not there. Well, I've done this before. When I've done this, I have to hit Control, Shift, Escape to bring this up and then find Unity and destroy it and the task. Oh, wait, hold on. Continue. Let me just see. Debug. I want to see if I can do a detach all. And yeah, Unity is still like not responsive. I can tell by clicking on the menus, nothing's happening. So I'm going to go in and end the task on that. By the way, if you're playing with while loops like I'm doing right here, probably a good idea to save all your work before you start doing them. While loops can kind of get you into trouble, and a lot of people don't, they're not really used a lot because they can cause some issues like this. You want to be really careful that you do not have any problems with your while loops, that your while loops are always going to, they will never, there's never a situation where they will be infinite. In other words, in an infinite loop. That's why Unity was, the deadly infinite while loop, says Captain Puppy.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm back. Let's see, did Unity start again? I'm waiting for Unity to start. Let me switch back to your machine. What do you want to do next? We need to get, if we can move left or right, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't you make that code work?
All right. Let's hit enter here. Also in fixed update, though we're gonna say.
Oh wait, can I guide you on this just a little bit?
Yeah.
We already have there are three parts in the code where we have kind of a model for doing this. We have line 10 up at the top that says bool can jump. We have line 21 inside of update, right? That's related, right? In fact, if you hit the tab 10x reference, you have to hit the tab key on there, on the can jump. Put the caret in can jump and hit tab, and CodeRush will take you through all the references to it. So you have line 21, and then you have, hit it one more time. Then you have lines 26 through 30. Now there's a cool CodeRush feature that can totally help you make this code writing much faster. And it's called duplicate line. Do you remember the shortcut for that, Campbell?
Shift enter.
Yeah, so start with line 10. And line 10, we're going to kind of teach it what we want to do. You can hit escape to get back up to line 10 too, wherever you start from. So if you hit escape, it'll get you back to where you started the tab sequence from.
Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted. Control.
Hit undo. All right, without a selection, now hit shift and enter to duplicate line. Now type in what? Can move right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Can. Right.
Hit enter. Now go back up to the can jump and hit tab to next reference on it so you get down to the next point where it is. Now,
Over here.
you don't want a selection yet. Anywhere in there, hit shift enter.
Oh my god, they got it right.
All right, now just hit enter until you get out to KidzCode.space and change the space to something else.
Right arrow? Or, I think
Yeah.
it's just right.
Yeah. See what it helps.
Yeah, it's right arrow. And now, back up to, oh wait, we can just do it.
Last time it's saying you can get the horizontal input ranging from -1 to 1 and have the input in a single float variable if you want to. How do I get that, last Matt? Let us know. I'm not sure how to get that. All right, and then now here, do this. Use selection increase to select the whole if statement.
Control W. No, wait, yeah.
Yep, and now hit shift enter.
Enter?
Shift. And now
Yeah, you got it right.
change, now scroll it so we can see everything on. All right, so what do we got? We've got player body, add force. Do we want it to be in the up direction?
No, we want it to be right. Right. Yeah. What?
And now why isn't move right force working?
Because it's not a variable yet.
Let's change it to move sideways force. Can you use the alt and left arrow and right arrow, alt right arrow to get in the right spot, and the shift key to select just the word right?
Yeah.
And then change that to called move sideways force.
Wait, but then how are we going to? Oh, this is gonna. Wait, why can't it just be right?
Well, because it could be right, but isn't our right force going to equal our left force?
Yes.
So if that's the case, that's why I was thinking make it sideways force.
Okay.
'Cause we'll use the same number. We'll use the same variable for both of those. Now copy this to clipboard. Just hit Control C to copy it.
Wait, can't we do the control dot declare method?
You can, but it won't declare it as a method. It'll declare it as a variable.
Or
a
sorry,
variable.
declare field.
You totally can do that if you want to do that. Absolutely.
Declare field. Is it a vector 3? Yeah, it's a vector 3.
No, it's not actually. It should be a number, is what it should be. It thinks it's a vector 3. I can't see because your chair's blocking it.
Oh.
Can you scroll it up a little bit?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, interesting. It's a vector 3 because you can multiply by a vector 3. I'm going to say no. Don't declare it as a field then. In that case, because
Okay.
the type's wrong. Instead, just copy it
Control C.
and go up to jump force and duplicate that line. Line 9, not line 10.
Oopsies.
Undo that,
Control Z.
and one more time undo. And up on line 9, see that jump force? Duplicate that line. There you go. And paste in. There you go.
Wait, why did it do this?
Look at the difference between line 8 and line 9.
Oh, it's 197. It's 97.
Yeah, it sees
That's
that
the
there's a
difference.
pattern. It thinks you're adding 97 to each number, so it's trying
That's
to suggest
smart.
that. So you can change this to whatever you want. Make this 100 as well.
No. 100. Okay.
Oh, yes, I did. So Last Matt's asking, did you check out the docs? I did. So Last Matt is suggesting using something called input.getAxis. And we can choose the axis name, and it'll be a value from -1 to 1 for keyboard and joystick input devices. The meaning of this value depends on the type of input control. For example, with the joystick's horizontal axis, a value of 1 means the stick is pushed all the way to the right. And a value of -1 means it's all the way to the left. And a value of 0 means that the stick is in its neutral position. If it's mapped to the mouse, the value is different and will not be in the range of -1 to 1. Instead, it'll be the current mouse delta multiplied by the axis sensitivity. Typically, a positive value means the mouse is moving right or down, and a negative value means the mouse is moving left or up, which is cool. We can make it so your game responds to the mouse. So I move the mouse left, and the force is applied, so our player moves to the left. It's frame rate independent. So you can set your input to view the options for axis name. Go to Edit Project Settings Input. So cool. So if we wanted to get a joystick and make like a joystick game, we could easily connect to that using that tip from Last Matt. Thanks, Last Matt.
Thanks, Last Matt. Okay.
What do we have now? We have moved sideways force. We've got can move right. I think this will work. You want to just test it and see if this works?
Control S.
Yeah, good job remembering to save.
Now let's play.
While you're doing that, tell me when you're ready to play, when it's playing.
Okay.
I'm going to switch over to my machine here a second. I'm going to go play with the while loop a little more. I'm going to run this now. I think Unity has started up. There it is right there. So I'm going to start up Unity now without any breakpoints. And I'm going to run it. And we've got the console up. And when I hold that left shift down, here I go. Now I've lifted up. Oh, and we are locked up again. Nothing came out, which is kind of interesting. So I have some theories on this. So we're, I think, essentially locked up right in this space.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, switch back over to Campbell. Let's watch Campbell's game and see if the right key is going to move us right.
Let's see. It did. It works.
All right, cool. Let's now quickly go give it to the left.
Okay.
Because you can't move left at all, right?
No.
All right.
So we're gonna do Shift Enter here.
Okay. And change right to just the word right.
Oopsies.
Remember the Alt, left, and right arrows
Yeah.
with the Shift key?
Alt Shift.
Meanwhile, over on my machine, I'm doing this. I'm hitting End Task on Unity because I managed to lock it up a second time. Yeah.
Can move left.
I totally thought we would be able to debug log without getting locked, but it's not. Sorry, Campbell, go ahead. What do you want to say?
I'm still working on it.
Okay.
So.
So you got can move left.
Yeah.
Good.
Not backspace, but left arrow.
It's down about 3 in the suggestion list. There you go.
Enter.
Good.
Now the next time it is here.
Yep.
Wait, no, it's
Selection
up here.
increase.
Yeah, wait.
Just use selection increase. You can do it from anywhere inside. There you go. And duplicate. And scroll that up so
Shift
we can
enter.
see it because you're blocking a little bit.
Oopsies.
Can
Yep,
move
can
left.
move left.
Yep. Something's not working here. Why don't we have left working?
Wait, no, wait, yes.
Delete that and just hit Control Space and see what suggestions come up. Control Space will give you a list of suggestions. It might be we have to multiply by right times a negative sideways force.
Wait, what do you mean it's not working?
Hit delete right now.
Why?
Now hit, because I want to clear out anything that's blocking suggestions. Hit Control Space right now, and this will be, there you go. Okay, look, the first 3 starred ones are forward, right, and up. There is no down, left, or backwards.
Oh, so we
So-
have to do it right and then negative.
Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting. Move it right by a negative amount,
Okay.
okay? It's weird they don't have left. It would be easy to do. And it would make code easier to read,
Oopsies.
I think.
Control Z. Negative. Enter. We did it. Okay. That should work. Control S.
Pepper Beardy says, soon I think the student will become the master and the master the student. It happens on this show. We did it last time when we did something. Oh, I got somebody knocking at the door, Campbell. Try it out. I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's try it. Right is still working, and left is working. Jump's working, but it's not high enough. Okay. Why don't we make the jump?
Geniscu 7, where are you? We need your help!
Oh yeah, alright.
Geniscu 7! Ah!
Here, you white abs.
Okay, so everything works, just the jump force is a little too low, which is weird. Hello, Geniscu 7's here.
Oh, okay. Let me switch back over to your view right there. All right, you're there.
Yes.
Tell me what's going on.
So the right arrow and left arrow are working, but the jump is just a little low, so I just edited that, and I made it 200 instead of 100.
Okay.
So let's try this again. Yep, should be high enough to jump.
So this is definitely better than before.
Something's weird now, though.
Tell me about that.
When I try to go right, it's just like kind of going in a circle. Like, look.
It kind of spins in a circle.
Yeah, and if I try to go right, it just pushes me left a little bit too.
Can we look at the code?
Yes.
Captain Puppy says it's because it's spinning. Captain Puppy thinks that maybe the spin is causing it to move a little bit.
Oh, so maybe like the forward force is pushing on the...
I don't know. We made it slippery, right? So that it had no friction. So its origin point is rotating, so its movement is in a circular position or circular motion. Its origin point is rotating. The origin should be the center, but maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe actually Captain Puppy is right. Let's do this. Can we put a restriction on this so it doesn't
Spin?
It doesn't spin?
So we freeze the position of it? That was...
Let's see if this solves the problem. If this solves the problem, then Captain Puppy is right.
Freeze rotation.
Yeah.
Let's just freeze all rotation.
And now, would you describe it as behaving better or no?
I don't quite know. It's a little harder to move to the right and left, but that's, I think, is just a problem of how much force we're adding to it.
Well, we've got our sideways force property, right? It's right up there. You can change it to 200 instead. Let's try changing it.
But it is a little, like, sharp.
Yeah, so Surly Dev is also asking a really good question here, I think. Surly is saying, I think it's because it's applying the spin forward, but because it's spinning, it's killing the momentum. The forward or the right movement, whatever that is, he says, can you just apply it to the forward down the track direction?
Oh.
Is what he's suggesting. And maybe that's what we want, or to the right or to the left. Let's look at the code. Can we look at the code? Or did you just change sideways force? Do you want to try it again?
Yeah, I want to try it just one more time to see.
What's your reaction? What does it feel
I
like?
think it is a little too much of the sideways force. So if we just did it
It's a little too much,
maybe
you said.
150, that should work. It should be great. Okay. What do you want to do next?
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Wait. This isn't my show me something cool thing, but it's something cool that I found in Visual Studio.
okay.
Where wherever your carrot is, over here, it will show this little blue bar to say that's like what line of code your carrot's on.
Nice.
So you can always like scroll back up to it.
All right. Cool. I like it. All right, let's switch over to my machine. I want to, so this attempt to demonstrate the while loop didn't work so well. Let's do something maybe a little bit different, a little bit better. We have somewhere in here, do we have this? We do not, don't have it here, but I want to create, just like you're doing, I want to create blocks and drop them down in front of me. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
And can you show me the code, your code, where you do that?
Can. I created all of these variables.
It's line 27.
Yeah, but it's also line 7 through 13 for all of the variables. And yeah, it's...
Okay, can you do this for me, Campbell? Can you copy all of that to the clipboard? If you put
all of the code?
yeah, just to Yeah, just put the caret anywhere inside. Use selection increase till the class is selected. Copy it to the clipboard and then give it to me in Skype. If you can. And then I'll start with that. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do is switch over. Oh, man, right outside my window. Got to talk to Karen about rescheduling the gardener.
Okay, I sent you all of the code.
All right, perfect. I'm going to come over into Unity. No, that's not Unity. Did I really not restart Unity? Looks like I didn't. Let me get that going. I do that.
Can you turn down the music a little bit?
Is it loud for you?
It is.
It should be the same volume for me. I can barely even hear it. So that's weird. Yeah, I'd like to turn down the music outside is what I'd
Yeah.
like to do. But, okay, here we go. First KidzCode project. Open that up. Get your code, copy it. So I'm going to start with what Campbell has here. And that's in, the code he gave me is in, is in something you called you created a game object. Was it just empty? I think it was create empty.
Yeah, I think so.
And no, look at that. It's called game object right there. All right. So now I'm going to go
we named
down
it
here.
The game.
We're going to create a new script for it. And I'll call it game behavior, I guess. Is that what you're doing? You're adding the word behavior at the end?
Properties.
Game properties.
But for that script, I think I just called it game logic. But
Game logic. Okay, I'm going to call it game logic. Come on. I think that's that one for the most attempts to try to type something in. There's my game logic right there. I think I can Can I drag it up onto my game object? Good. And then I can double click on it like this. And then I think I can selection increase and paste. So I've now got your code.
yes.
To test this, but I don't have your barriers.
No,
Right?
you don't.
So let me just come in here onto my track. Got to select it on this side, right? My track, I'm going to make it X be 20. So give me more space. And I'm going to try running. Oh, and look at this. Because I crashed, I lost my settings for my track and player, or my player material. Let's change those real quickly here, if I can. There's that one. And there's that one. Because remember, when we're working with the while loop, we want to definitely save. So my track material is there. Whoops. There. And player is there. Okay. All right. So let's save everything and let's run. And I have no movement, but I was expecting to see objects dropped. Oh, I don't have a prototype.
No, you don't.
I need a prototype.
Yes.
Don't I? All right, let's drop a prototype down. So new cube. That's not what I want. I want to just bring it back over here. Let's create a new material for it. We'll make it kind of an amber color just so it matches a little bit yours. Where's my material? There it is. We learned that today, or I learned that today. Here. There we go. I'm going to call this block or maybe block mat.
Prototype mat.
Would you say,
Okay.
Campbell?
Prototype mat.
Prototype
or
mat. You're right. I'm going
obstacle
to
mat,
drag it. I
anything.
always want to drag up here because I think it's because it's bigger.
Yeah.
And I want to do that. I'm going to do this so it's a little bit. All right. So this is my cube right here. That's my prototype. I'll rename it as well. Prototype block maybe, or obstacle, something like that. Give it that name. And then back to the game object. I think there's a prototype there. It's got none. I got to drag that over. All right. Player position. I need to grab the player position. That's my player. And I think I need to drag that over here as well. Like that. Do Do your settings match this right here, Campbell, in Unity? Player and prototype block?
Yes, I believe. Wait.
That's for the game object, right? Or the game. You called it just the game.
Yep. That's exactly
You've got
it.
distance between drops is 3 and distance ahead to drop is 20.
Yeah.
Let's see what I got. I have
Yes, I
10
do.
and 20. I'm going to change that to 3. All right, now let's save everything and run. What I want to do is I want to get it so the first time it drops 1 block. What's going on? It's kind of weird.
It just stopped.
Yeah, it's like really kind of unusual. What is going on with that? Let's look at the console. Do we have any issues with the console? It's not moving. There's no forward direction applied. Every fix update, I'm doing it. Player properties. Did I remove something from player properties? Does it have its script? Player properties, it does. That's really interesting. It seemed like it totally worked, and the only change I made was to put those properties in there, which means there must be something in that code that's not working so well in the game logic.
Mine's working fine. They all drop.
I wonder if it might have something to do with last drop position and the positioning of my track and where it is. I'm wondering if that might have something to do with it. One of the things I like to do when this happens is I like to kind of turn things off and see what the impact is if I turn it off, for example.
So, like, comment out some code.
Kind of. What I kind of want to do is I kind of want to, can I remove this? I'm right-clicking on it. I'm trying to get a sense of how do I clear it, because that was the last thing I did. But it doesn't seem to have an option in there. I can comment out code. Let's comment out code. We'll go to the game logic. Let's just comment out all of this code. Okay, like that.
Whoa, wait, how'd you do that? Did you just...
I select the whole thing and then I hit the slash key. That's code rush as well. So slash key comments the whole thing out and slash key again uncomments it. Okay, let's try running now with that change. Is assigned, but its value is never used. So we've got a couple warnings here.
That's okay. I got a num block to drop, but I didn't get... Oh, because you commented out the code, you got
So
that.
it's definitely in that code we commented out. That's the problem. Let's go take a look at this.
Now let's comment out some of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. So if z is greater than distance between drops and last drop position is equal to player position dot z. New drop is equal to instantiate prototype in the player position. And then I'm going to move it to the new location. Well, I'm pretty sure we can comment these 2 lines of code and it'll still work. Let's do that. Yep, it's still working. I have a jump, but that's all I got on mine. I haven't added anything else. Okay.
Okay, so it's not in those 2 lines of code, so
Yeah,
it should be in the other one.
We're in trouble, or we're getting close to it. Let's just instantiate the object and not do anything with it. We won't move it, we'll just instantiate it. Okay. Let's click run. Oh, that's crazy, crazy.
That's funny. It's moving with you.
I have an idea. I think my prototype object is not the same as yours. I think my prototype object is not moving, and I think they're kind of connected to each other, is what I think. Let's look at my prototype object inside of Unity and compare its properties to yours. So here's my prototype block. I've got a box collider. Do you have one on yours?
Yes, I do.
I got a mesh renderer.
Yep.
Huh.
Is your size 111?
Yeah. I was thinking there might be something else here, but I'm not seeing it. Do I need to make this slippery?
Oh.
Do you have slippery?
No, not on
Do you have
this
anything
one.
that I don't have, I guess? I kind of want to make it slippery.
Okay. You can do that. It
But you
shouldn't
haven't-
affect it much, but...
You haven't done it. You don't have that. Do you have anything different from what I have? In terms of these, if I collapse all of these, do you have only transform cube, mesh renderer, and box collider?
Wait. No, I have rigid body.
You have rigid body on this as well?
Yeah. Or else it wouldn't be falling.
Okay. Let's have rigid body. And what do we need to do about here? Can you check your settings versus the one you're seeing here? Mass of 1, drag of 0.
Yeah. Angular drag is 0.05.
They're all matching?
It uses gravity. It is... yeah.
All right, let's see if that works. Let's
Mine
do a
is
save.
exactly the same as yours.
What'd you say?
Mine is exactly the same as yours.
Okay. Okay, Captain Puppy says it's 4 a.m. I got to go to bed. All right, Captain Puppy, get some sleep.
Bye, Captain Puppy.
That looks like that fixed it.
Now
All
we
right.
just have to add the borders.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'm not going to add the borders just yet.
Okay.
So look what's happening. See, they're dropping in a line in front of me, and I'm kind of building up speed. Oh, and now I've changed
Whoa,
direction.
why are you
Oh
going
my
backwards?
gosh.
Oh, because
It's-
you spin.
My forward is the forward of my cube. This is why it was
Yeah.
happening before. So my forward
You're
is
going
different.
backward.
What'd you say?
You're going back.
Yeah, I am.
You
I
went
am,
all the
I
way
am, I
off
am.
the track.
That's kind of fun. Okay, so let's do this. Let's watch it one more time. And I think I want to get rid of that guy in the middle there. So go one. See how they're dropping in one at a time? Up at least till I hit the block. Let's maybe stop and get that block out of the way. All right,
The
let's go get that
giant
block. There it is right there. Let's delete it. It was my favorite part of the game. This massive block, it had character and everything. But let's stop that. Let's go back to my game object. Let's change my distance between drops, and let's make that much bigger. Let's make it like 15. Okay? And distance ahead to drop is 20. Let's make that a little bit bigger too. Let's make it like 40.
Wait, how big is your cube?
My cube is 1 by 1.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be
That's why.
40 my cubes ahead. Now let's watch it. There's one. There's another one. Oh, now I'm totally messed up. This is, I think, I'm experiencing what you saw before.
Yeah.
We're not applying the force on the forward direction of the track. And I fell off the track. All right. Let's change distance ahead to drop. Let's do distance between drops. I want to make this like 30. I'll make it 42. Let's do that. I just hit Control S to save. Let's play it. And I just want to watch this, right? So here we go. One comes down. There's another one. All right. Okay. I want to change it so the first time 1 drops, the second time 2 drop, the third time 3 drop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All
So
right,
it's like a pyramid kind of.
Yeah,
So
kind of a
it's
pyramid.
1 and
It's
then
a stack.
2 and then 3.
Yeah, exactly.
3, yeah.
So I want to do that. Here's where we drop one, and here's where we position it. What I want to do is I want to create a while loop here to make this work, and so I'm going to type in W and hit the space bar, and CodeRush is going to give me this right here. So W for while loop, Campbell, is the way you remember it.
Yes.
And I want to say something like a variable like num blocks dropped is less than num blocks to drop.
Uh-huh.
Set this equal to 0 is what I'm going to do. Like that. That's a bar. Like that. Okay? So, set it equal to 0.
Wait.
So num blocks dropped is equal to 0. While num block drop is less than num blocks to drop, which is declared right up here.
Oh, yeah.
See it? I'm going to do this. What's that line of code do, Campbell?
It adds 1
It adds 1 to what?
to number of blocks dropped.
Right. So while it's less than 1, if it's 0, I'm going to add 1 to it. Then we're going to maybe do some more code in here. I think the code is going to be this. Okay. And then, does that feel like it's enough? Not quite, because I'm putting blocks in the same Y position, and I kind of want to stack them up. So what I want to do is I want to say, instead of saying plus 2, I want to say plus 1 plus, no, I'll say plus 2 plus num blocks dropped. So I'm going to just stack them up. Does that make sense what I'm doing there, Campbell? Each time we go through, we're going to increment this by 1. And then right here for the Y position, I'm going to add that value to the Y. Does that make sense? So it's going to just, if I've got everything right in my head, it's going to stack them up, right? Then.
Oh, we're stacking. I thought we were just making them like all on the track.
I'm going to stack them vertically. Then I'm going to do this. Every time we drop a set of these, we go through this while loop. But when we're done with the while loop, watch what I'm going to do. And then tell me what this does.
Oh, so you're adding 1 to the number of blocks to drop.
Yeah.
So that so that the number of blocks dropped will be less than will be less than number of blocks to drop.
Yeah. Well,
so that you go through the while loop again.
Yeah, not this time, but the next time we come in to fix update.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
And delta z is greater than distance between drops. So this is a field variable. It's up outside of the method, which means its value is going to be the same when we come back into the method next time. It's going to be the same as whatever it's going to remember it. But this variable is inside the method right here, which means its variable is going to be whatever we set it to here.
It's going to always be the same.
Yeah, we got to set it. In fact, if we don't set it to anything, watch, we should get an error, right? Got to be initialize it is what it says there. I can also put like int here, by the way, to say it's of type int.
It's a number.
But if I were to take out the initialization, we should get an error that says here, the use of unassigned, meaning I have not assigned a value to it. To assign a value, I've got to come in here and say it equals something to start with.
Yeah.
So this is a variable that's local. It's declared locally inside the method. There's the method right there. Remember, the most important thing is these parens tell you it's a method. And there might be something inside those parens called parameters, but we'll talk about those later. All right, so we want to try it, see if it works?
Sure.
Okay, let's try it. We should see stacks increase if our code is right. So there's 1. Next block should be 2. Come on, give me a 2. Ah! Oh, yeah, there's a 3.
Yeah.
And then I got rotated around the wrong way. And I'm off. Cool. It worked. And so each time we go, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Will it ever end, Campbell?
No.
Yeah, not really. Unlikely to ever end. Unless, supernova destroys the computer. That sort of thing.
Something like that.
This really says, I have a suggestion. By the way,
Yes?
notice we're still kind of, we're if we don't keep our guy oriented in the right direction, right? It's going, our moving left and right isn't quite working. Our forward depends on which direction we're facing.
Try freezing the rotation.
Shirley is suggesting you could make the cube rotate when you turn left or right. That's an interesting idea.
Wait. Oh, so we add torque to it.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's see if we can do that.
But
I'll
wait,
do it on
why
mine.
would we do? Wait.
What? I'm going to do
Why?
this. I'm going to...
Oh, so that it undoes the other rotation.
Well, I think what's happening is that forward will still be forward, but will go in a certain direction. Can you... I guess I'll go check the door on that. Camel, actually, I don't want to...
can.
What did you say,
I
Camel?
can do it.
You want to go check the door?
Sure.
All right, you check the door. I'm going to try and do Surly suggestion. We'll come back, we'll do show me something. Okay? Yeah, it's a car on the track, not a cube. Yeah, I'm going to actually try to make it into...
Can we do a little bit more before we do show me something cool?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I'm going to take the player right here, and I am going to try to drag another cube into it and see if I can kind of join two cubes together. I think I might be able to do that. Or sphere. Let's take the sphere and can I drag it into player? I think I can. And so now, where's player? Let's move this off to the side right here. So I'm going to put this in here like a wheel is what I'm going to do. Is everything okay, Campbell?
Yeah, everything's fine. They're just finished.
Okay. Because I want to give you a sense of where its front and back are kind of thing is what I want to do.
Why are we adding this circle?
I'm adding a circle to be, I want it to be a wheel for my player. Is what I want it to do. And so let's hit the scale button right here and let's scale it this way a little bit. And it looks like it's kind of dark. I want to go to my directional light and increase the intensity like you suggested.
Oh, it might be that the cube's casting a shadow.
Oh yeah, that might be happening exactly what's happening here. If I hit the directional
Oh,
light.
you might go to the player and make it so that it doesn't cast shadows.
Change so it doesn't cast shadows.
Or you could change the wheel so that it doesn't receive shadows.
See if we can get the light coming from the other side here. There we go.
Ah! So bright. You cannot see the color.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking, let's if we're going to do this, we need to give you a sense of its orientation. Is what we need to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on the front of it. So this is going to kind of stick out of the front of this, and we'll get a sense of what it is based on, which direction we're facing. So I'm going to kind of make this in kind of a cone, kind of a long oval kind of shape, and then I'm going to move it here, so it's kind of sticking right out of the front, like this. Okay, but I'm not going
Wait, but
to.
then we can't see it.
Huh?
But then we can't see it.
Then we can't see it?
Yeah.
Well, we can't see it if it's
In the
facing
game
away
view.
from us. But if it's turning towards us, we will be able to see it. I'm also in the sphere. No sphere collider. I'm going to take that off of it. Remove component. Okay? So let's just try running that and see. Let's see at the very least if we can start seeing the rotational issues here. Looks like I need to go way over here. And so there, see it? See, Campbell?
Yeah,
Now we know which direction is front. It's weird. I thought it was in the center, but it's not. Okay, so that is kind of cool, but
you might want to change the intensity on the directional light.
I'm with you on that. It's a little bright. It's because it's coming right behind us kind of thing, like maybe there. All dark here. Why is it so dark?
Why is it dark here and not in the game view?
What did you say?
Why is it dark here and not in the game view? Oh, wait, you might want to reset the position of
I think
it
it's the
too.
direction of the light, actually, to be honest. I think we've got, let me click up here, hit the letter, what is it, F? I thought F did it. I just double click on it. Yeah, it's not actually aiming down. And I think its position is kind of in a bad place. It's kind of, I'm not 100% certain if that's how it works, or maybe it does. Because it looks like we've got something in shadow. All right, that's a little bit better. We can do that.
That's a
Work with
lot
that.
better. I like.
Okay, back to the sphere. I want to get the sphere right in the center of that thing.
That should be the center.
It's feeling close.
Yeah.
You kind of got to move.
Oh wait, a little bit to the.
Yeah, you move
left.
the camera around a little bit. So let's try that with the new lighting and with the. There's 2 blocks coming down. There's 3. Whoa, there we go. So now,
Wait, so now the forward force should be bringing you up.
look at those. Isn't that awesome? Those stacks
Yeah.
coming down. That's the while loop right there helping us out. Right? The important thing on the while loop is that we have a way out. In other words, if I've got a check in here, you better make sure that we've got a way of increasing this to get out of it. Do you see what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Campbell? If we were to comment out this line of code, we would do an infinite loop, and we would lose all our work in Unity, apparently, because we don't have a way of going in there. If we haven't saved it, we'd lose our work. That sort of thing.
So don't do that.
Copperbeard is asking, is the collision with other cubes affecting the speed or rotation?
I think both.
To both. It is. In fact, now that we've added that part in the front of it, and by the way, that was pretty easy to do, to change this shape, right? If we were to click on player and click on the rotate piece right here and rotate it around, right? That's pretty easy to create this kind of a shape, right? Not too bad. So I'm going to undo that. Now that we know that, so we can implement Surly Dev's suggestion, which is when we hit left or right key, we rotate it. I think I also better put on some borders. What do you think about that, Campbell?
Okay.
All right. Campbell says yes to borders. So let's see if I can do the same thing. I'm going to come in here, say 3D object, cube, the transform. We're going to say it's Y is 10. Just watch my work, Campbell. Make sure I'm doing what you like, doing something similar to what you're doing. Make sure I don't get in trouble. Do I need to move it? Let me go check out over here. I think it's good when we're dropping these on to look at it through this scene view rather than the game view.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not lined up like I thought it was going to be.
It's like in the center almost.
Oh, it's only 100. Let's make it 1,000. And it's still not lined up, but I think the reason it's not lined up is because...
It's because the Z has to be at 0 if your track starts at 0.
Well, on your machine it's at 0. At my machine, I think it's going to be at half of this, negative 500. Is that true?
No. That's where it starts.
Maybe 500? Ah, there. Now I've got the overlap that I was looking for. Okay. All right. So there, I've got the right Z position, but it's right
Not
down the middle of the track,
X
it appears
position.
to be. Okay. So let's move this. Oops,
Oh,
that's the scale, sorry.
I don't have my headphones in.
And how are we doing here? Looks like it's right about the right spot. The position here is 10 in the X. And we'll call this left wall. I'm going to duplicate this. I think Control D is duplicate here. Look at that. Did you know that, Campbell?
No, I didn't.
Control D duplicates what's selected there. This is going to be the right wall. I kind of want to get in there and you get a space in there. I like the space there. I think it makes it easier to read. Should this be negative 10? That looks like that was what we wanted as well.
Oh,
Okay.
wait. It
What do I
looks
need
like
to do?
there's a little space in between them so that you can follow. No, there isn't. Okay.
I think I'm going to be okay because my cube is big enough and I'm trusting that the physics engine is not going to let me slip through.
You might want to make the walls a little bit higher. Just because.
Okay.
Why not?
So my Y position is here.
Your position, yeah.
Yeah, that does look nicer. I agree. That's 4.62.
Yeah, 4.62.
Let's make it 4.5. Okay. And then let's go over to the left wall, make its Y 4.5 as well. All right. I'm making these invisible.
Yeah.
So I turn off the mesh renderer. Do the same over here. And do I just need a box collider?
Yeah.
That's it. Let me try and see if that works. I still don't have the ability to move left or right yet, but I'm hoping that as I run into these blocks,
They'll move you.
whoa! Now I can't jump. Now let's see. Are we gonna go off the edge?
Yeah, because when you jump, you just go like forward.
Where's my? Yep. Looks like we can't see. It's a little ridiculous, but I'm trusting that maybe we're not falling because also the camera would go down if we had fallen.
It would.
Okay. All right. That's kind of what it looks like. We can come out over here as well in the game. Let's see where we are. Are we out there? Where are we? Out over here? We're right there. Am I going backwards?
No, because you're facing upwards.
I'm going backwards.
Oh, you are.
On the track, at least. And when I hit the jump key, nothing's happening because my jump is... Wait, why is nothing happening?
Yeah, I feel like something should be happening.
I wonder if it's because I'm at the wall and jumping for me is jumping into the wall this direction. Because it should be one of those four sides. I should see movement. That's what I'm expecting. Okay, cool. Stop a second. Save it. All right, so now we're going to do one other thing. On the player,
I want to freeze rotation.
I want to freeze rotation.
X, Y, and Z is what I did, just in case.
I want to freeze rotation in only like one of these.
Wait, why?
I want to go around the Y for sure. Maybe two. I want to do for the let's try these two. So freeze rotation in those two and play it
But
again.
then you might also face upwards and then...
No, I don't think I'll go upwards because I think I'm always going to be facing.
But you can still rotate in the Y direction.
So
Which is
when
what
I think
happened
about it, it
last
means rotating. I think it means rotating around the Y axis is what I think. That's not good. Got to get the camera right behind it. Yeah, see, I'm rotating in this way, but that's the only way I'm rotating. Does that make sense? Look at these
Just
getting bigger
giant
and bigger.
stacks.
Okay, you definitely got to get the camera left in there. Uh-oh. Look at that. Look at those falling down. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just incrementing by one. All right, so now that I've got this, let's see if we can figure out, let's do two things. Let's make the camera follow it, behind it.
Yes.
Isn't that so much fun when those come down? I love it. That's the while loop, right? That while loop is executing each time we move, like, whatever the distance is, 40 cubes. Uh-oh. All right, so let's stop it. Now let's go over to, what is it, player properties. So we're going to do that same thing that you did right here. I've got can jump. I'm going to duplicate this line to can turn left. A little bit different from what you're doing. And maybe one more of these called can turn right. So I'm just going to do those duplications both here because I know I'm going to do both in advance. Then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to, this code here was checking to see if the time minus the last jump time was more than 2 seconds or a tenth of a second, in which case we can jump again. So this is just keeping us from jumping twice, but for the code that we want to write, we're going to get rid of that, I think. So I'm going to duplicate this line of code, or this block of code. We're going to say, this is going to, key code is, we'll say left arrow. And I don't need this check at all. I'm just going to say this, can turn left is true. Okay. Then I'm going to select this, block that, do this, and change this to right arrow. And this one is going to go to a right as well. Okay. And then I'm going to continue tab to next reference on the can jump. And now we're going to say, duplicate this line. If we can turn left, then we're going to do something. We've got to change this line of code here. It's got to do something else. I think maybe we're right when you said torque. Is torque an option? Ah, nice. Then we have a vector. So transform is what corresponds to this section. And within there, we want to work with rotation, I think. So I wonder if we have another property in here. What's this? Transforms direction from real world space to local space. The opposite of transform direction. Oh, this is kind of I suspect that this answers Surly's question from before, Campbell, when Surly was asking, instead of applying the force relative to the forward direction you're facing, couldn't we just send it down the track? Right? And I think that this is what allows you to convert from the real world direction to the local object's direction. Let's see what's in rotation. The Euler angle, representing of the rotation.
What is a Euler angle?
I don't know. The x component. Don't modify this unless you know quaternions inside and out. I don't know anything about quaternions.
Euler
angles. What is it though? What's it going to take in here? I'm hitting Control-Shift Space. It takes a vector. All right, well, let's try this. A new vector 3. Looks like I don't have vector 3 inside here. We did it on your machine.
I'm looking up the Euler angles right now.
Well, yeah? All right, so I'm going to do this. Turning left. Let's say, I'm going to say it's 0. Here's my theory. Okay, I've got a theory on it. I don't know, but my theory is this. That if I want to turn, I have to pick an axis I want to turn on. Okay? Think about how these axes go. The y points up, right? If I turn around the y-axis, I'm going to go like this, I think. Right?
Yeah.
And a positive number is going to turn me one way, and a negative number is going to turn me another way. So what my idea is this. I'm going to say...
No, I think that the y means if you added like a force in the y direction, what way it would turn.
I get that. I get that. You might be right.
Why? So I think it would go like this.
I think you may be right. We'll see. I'm gonna say like 300. I'm gonna do this. So I'm only changing y on can turn left, and I'm gonna take this, duplicate it, can turn right, and I'm gonna change my plus y to a negative y. Right there. And let's just see what happens. Looks like game logic isn't saved. Let's save that. Oh, geez, look at that. Ugh. I almost got us into an infinite loop. Did you see that?
That would have been terrible.
Terrible. All right, I'm glad I spotted that just before running. All right, let's run. And now I'm going to hit the left arrow. Now I'm going to hit right arrow. All right, that's it. So
you were right.
It works that way. Well, you know, sometimes that happens, right? You do math enough and you think, okay, what's the simplest way to do this? Like the way you suggested could also totally have ended up working, right? But I'm thinking, what's the simplest way? And that seemed the simplest way. So that's why I thought that's how they would do it. Now, what's bad about putting these numbers here, Campbell? Just this hard-coded
You can't
300.
edit them in Unity.
I can't edit them in Unity.
Make a public float.
Let's do this. So we're going to create a public float up here. I'm just type in
just one.
VF here for variable of type float. And
Public.
Euler, it's pronounced Euler.
It is? Oh, the Euler angles.
Euler.
Euler angles.
The rotation as Euler angles in degrees.
You got something on your screen you want to show us?
This is, I looked up Euler angles Unity C sharp.
Yeah, Euler angles can represent a three-dimensional rotation by performing 3 separate rotations around individual axes. So let me say this, Campbell. I want to stop reading on that paragraph. And the reason why is because I believe that understanding this is going to take some seriously massive brain power that I don't have yet. The reason why is that if you think of an object in three-dimensional space here, right? I'll grab
I got it.
I'll grab my sunglass case right here. Right, or my glasses case, right? I can rotate it like in around one axis, like the x-axis. I can rotate it around the y-axis, and I can also rotate it around the z-axis,
Which is like this.
which is like this, right? If the z goes forward.
Unless, wait, what if you rotate it around like the y-axis and spin it like this. And then now the Z, instead of being like this, it's like this.
Well, no, the Z is always going to be in this direction, but you're kind of getting to the core problem as I understand
No,
it.
but once you
which is,
rotate it, you are also rotating the Z axis from here. Look,
No, I understand. That's if it's in local coordinates.
in Unity, if we take this, wait
No, I get what you're saying. We're kind of both getting to the same thing.
a minute.
Copperbeardy says, poof, Euler angles can do them in about 2,000 years.
If we rotate it like this, wait. Sorry, I just confused myself.
No, I get what you're talking about, but I can maybe deconfuse you here. The point I was trying to make is that I can get to a position in space using a different, in multiple ways, using a different sequence of the angles. Right? It's like multiplication a little bit in that I can get to 48 by multiplying 2 times 24 or 2 times 3 times 4 times 2. I can get there in different steps. So there's different ways to get to the same number, and I can change up the order a little bit in this. And so I think that's why I want to stop, because there's some complexity in terms of how we arrive upon its ending point. And what you were talking about, the difference between local and world-based rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Copperbeardy says, I'm looking at the proof for Euler angles, and it's not something you can work through on a stream. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, let's stop right there. Oh, it's getting a little complex.
Bloop.
Back over to my machine here. Thanks for that, Surly and Copperbeardy. Appreciate that. So I'm going to come in here and we're going to call this the sideways torque. And torque just means like kind of an angle up to this, kind of an angular force. And I'm going to change that equal to maybe 50. And we want to make that public like that. And now down here, wherever we see this, I want to do that. And what do I do with this 300, this negative 300 right here, Campbell?
You replace it with your sideways torque.
Like that. Okay, let's try it. Here comes the run. Moving right, moving left. They are both kind of going the same direction. All right, let's look at this closely. What's wrong with the code? I started here. I replaced it. What's wrong, Campbell? What did I do wrong?
You didn't save it.
Okay, let's try it. So we're going to replace this one.
Wait, replace it again with sideways
That
torque.
one. And then do the same down here.
But make it negative.
Oh, negative?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that. Well, you got to tell me these things, Campbell. I'm not a genius. Okay, moving right, moving left. Nothing is working here.
What?
Why is that? Is it too low, I wonder? Let's try one more time. Left, right, left. Nothing is happening.
I think it is too low.
All right,
Wait, don't edit it in play mode.
let's try it 150. See what happens.
So, we've tripled it. Yep,
That
that was it.
now works. All right, let's fix the camera. Since we've got such a wide piece, camera follow here. We're doing the average Y, the transform position X. I kind of want to do an average X as well, is what I want to do here. And between the player position X and the camera.
Yeah, you might want to do it with
X.
all of the, like, camera X, average X, Y, and Z.
I don't want to do it with a Z, I think. I want to just do it here where it just kind of gets close to it. We need to declare a new piece here. So just duplicate that. And then now let's go save. Let's figure out what the camera X is. I think it's going to be 0 is what I think it's going to be. We need to go grab, that was the
Camera.
And the camera X is 0. So I think we're okay. Let's
Oh,
try.
wait. Dad, I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah. Do you
Sorry.
want me to wait before I start, or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay, go ahead.
What happens if you have 2 cameras? Can you switch between both cameras in the game?
I don't know. Oh, you know something that's kind of bugging me on this? I would imagine the answer is yes. Here's what's bugging me. The torque is going, but there's no frictional force to slow it down.
So we just keep spinning.
Yeah, we just keep spinning. Now notice it's a little more in view, but it's not great. Also, it's going the opposite direction of which way I'm hitting the button. I totally got to reverse them. All right, so let's do that. We could reverse them easily just by coming in here and saying, wait, where was it? Was it the game object? No, yeah, game object. Or is it the player? Sideways torque, making this negative. That would fix it. And I still don't understand why 50 doesn't work, but 150 does. Let's try again. Kind of have to tap these, and so now it kind of works.
If you hold them, you'll just go really, really.
Yeah, why didn't 50 work? That's the weirdest thing to me. Let's go back and verify that. I'm now getting a hang of hitting Control S and saving before I run.
Yeah.
Now it works. That's so weird.
That's
okay, now
weird.
it's actually. Oh, what's interesting is now I can kind of
It's
tap it,
stopping.
and I have control. If I tap it, if I go
If you tap the other
left
one,
and then right, I can kind of hold the position. Nice. Oh no. It's actually kind of fun to try to not hit these.
using only rotation.
Yeah. And now we're getting fast enough, and there we go.
They're just going over you.
Yeah. That's kind of awesome.
And you're just having so many of them
Yeah.
in the prototype.
I'm going to get rid of camera X. And instead, I'm going to just flat out use player position X instead. Right here. Try that and see if the camera totally just stays behind it.
It should.
Well, let's see. Yeah, there you go. I can feel it.
Captain Cuppy's drone is still out there.
I can type in doc out here. All right, what do you want to do next, my friend? What are you feeling?
Want to do show me something cool?
Show me something cool.
You can go first.
I'm going to go first.
2.
Last time Campbell beat me, kids, if you were here. Crushed me in the Show Me Something Cool. He crushed me with this great feature, which I'm actually going to invoke right now because I haven't done it yet, that he found in... where is it?
Preferences.
Edit Preferences.
Under General, it's Play Mode Tint. Oh, yeah, colors.
Play Mode Tint. I'm going to make this very similar to what Campbell had this at. So I'm going to go in down here. Maybe I'll go with purple. And I'll bring it right up there. And so now, so this is Campbell. I'm not cheating by using Campbell's idea from last time. So now it makes it very obvious we're in play mode, which I love. I'm loving it. Okay, here's my tip. You can hold down while moving objects around. You can hold down the control key to get them to snap to different locations. Let me show you. Here we go. So if I'm moving this and I'm moving this up and down, if I don't hold down any key, it moves smoothly. But if I hold down the control key, notice over in the position indicator in the right up there,
Yeah,
it's
going
moving by
boom,
quarter of a unit increments.
Yeah.
4.75, 4.5, 4.25, and 4. And it's based on what it starts at when you start dragging. So if I make this 4.3 like that, or maybe better example would be 4.03 like this. So it's 4.03, and now I hold down the control key and move it. I get to 4.28. See it? 4.53. It's still moving in quarter increments, but it's adding whatever that offset it had before, the 0.32 into those numbers.
I was considering using that as my tip, but then I was like, no, it's okay. And no, I'm not using it.
What, you were like, I can do better. That's a tip my dad would fall for.
That's there's something else that you can do. I forget how to get to it, but you can make it so that it like snaps not by the quarter increments, but like by like half increments or every like one on the grid. But yeah, so my tip is if you want to get your camera into the perfect space, but it's hard to move it, or it's hard to like get it into the perfect position.
Yeah.
How you like it, you can in this right here in the scene, you can find a good space for like where you want your camera facing, and then if you hit Control-Shift-F while selecting the camera, it will snap to wherever the perspective of the scene
really?
is.
Show me that.
Oh, wait, here.
Yeah.
Control-Shift-F.
So it did it, but we have to back up to see it. Is that right? You back up now?
Huh?
You can back up.
Oh yeah, and then
that's
the camera's
awesome.
here. And then my other tip was if you hit maximize and then maximize on play.
Oh, I love it.
Whenever you wait, and then unmaximize, and then when you play, it will maximize it also.
What the?
But then you can't edit in the inspector.
Right. But you could probably minimize it from here. Is that true?
Yeah, you can just unmaximize. You can just so if it's maximized and then you click these three dots,
Yeah.
it's checked off. But once you hit it again, it's just.
So can you?
back to its regular.
This is interesting to me. The let me switch over to my machine a second here. So up here at the top, I'm just noticing that Campbell had to maximize to do things here. Yeah, because you just can't see it. I suppose you could also do this.
Yeah, you could do that and then maximize
then
on play.
Click on that button right there if you had enough room on your screen. That's super cool. I kind of want to do something else. What's our time though? We probably got to go. Yeah, we got to go. Let's do this. I do want to bring one suggestion on screen. Surly suggested, how about you fire bullets from your block to try to remove obstacles before you hit them?
Ah.
I'm saying an absolute yes to that. You want to do that next week,
Sure.
Campbell? Yeah, I think it's a great suggestion. But you only get one shot per 5 seconds or whatever. Something along those lines. I love it. Let's do it. We have an idea for how when we hit a block, we can get it to explode into a lot of pieces, which is
Basically we oh, do you want to keep talking?
No, it's all right. Good.
We destroy the block that we just hit, and then right after we do that, so that we do it really quickly, we make a bunch of tiny blocks in the position where the regular block was, so that when we hit it, all of the tiny blocks just like go flying away and explode, kind of.
And by the way, Campbell, we can use the while loop and or a new loop that we're going to learn next week called the for loop to do that. The looping allows us to do the same thing again and again and again, right? And so if we have a big block and we want to turn it into little blocks, well, we kind of want to create up all those little blocks just like I'm stacking up, but we want to stack them like they're in a cube. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, kids. That's it. Campbell, you just sent me an image. Do I need to look at
did?
that? No, it's probably an accident with Skype. Skype does that sometimes. All right, kids. Thanks so much. Glad everybody's with us. Glad you were here today. You can watch me write code regularly Tuesdays through Fridays at the same time on the Code Rush channel. Give us a follow. And then on the weekends, we're doing KidzCode, where we're learning how to do it. Last Matt says, fun stream. Thanks, Last Matt, for being with us. Let me get a raid up here. Let's see who's out there right now that we can raid. Let's take it to send you an InstaFluff.
Insta-fluff.
One of my favorite devs out there. Really great, good content. And we'll see you next Saturday or on Tuesday maybe. Thanks again, kids.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Now, if you really go to InstaFluff's channel,